Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. So is this narcissist ever going to be happy? Are they going to get their karma? Will the new supply last? So think about the narcissist. They are in this juvenile, kind of toddler state of mind. And it's hard to comprehend that this grown person can be in a childlike emotional state, yet they can portray themselves as confident. Sometimes it seems like they know how to manipulate, so they do have some intelligence to them, but it's the emotional state, it's not the intelligent state. So they've learned the tricks of the trade to manipulate, to avoid certain situations they just don't want to deal with or would make them accountable for anything. But if you think about two toddlers, because that's kind of where their emotional state is, which is different than the intellect. So their emotional state is like two toddlers. Have you ever seen them where they don't really care about what's going on around them? They dash out into things. They're just doing whatever they feel they want to do. They don't think ahead of the dangers or things to avoid, or how their actions would affect somebody else. They're just too young to have processed that yet. They have a survival need. And so they're exploring the world. They're taking what they can get. That's part of growing. You're learning reactions. But at that stage, you really haven't developed a deep empathy yet. You can see reactions in people, but you're still self-absorbed as a toddler, to where if you're hungry, you're going to cry. If you want a toy, you're going to cry. You're going to hit. You're going to run away. You're going to defy the rules. Have you ever seen a mom or dad trying to hold on to the kid and the kid's still tugging? They just don't care what they're supposed to do. And that's how the narcissist kind of handles relationships. The only time it may work is two narcissists. They can kind of see eye to eye a little bit better, but that's two people who don't care about each other, to where they both want what they want. And so after that love bombing stage, that's going to be volatile. But if there's one person caring, at least somebody's getting their needs met. But when we try to say what our needs are, the narcissist doesn't process it. It's like talking to a 2-year-old and saying, can you just talk to mommy right now? And trying to say, can we fix this? Can we do that? And the toddler's like, okay, whatever. They don't process it. They don't think about it. They don't remember it. They just let it go. It's like, you're stopping what I want to do to talk to me. They're not going to have an adult emotional connection with you. They might run up and give you a hug because they're excited to see you. Our narcissist can be excited to see us. It's not that they don't want time with us, but it's all around when they want the time. So like when a toddler doesn't want a hug, they'll pull away. They won't be like, okay, it's going to be nice anyways. They're just self-absorbed. And when we're trying to communicate with a narcissist, they don't see things no matter how much we explain them. We're wasting our breath, because it's like explaining something to a 2-year-old on how we need to communicate better, and you have to say it so many different times. And just like with the toddler, and then you just keep saying the same thing. Eventually the toddler catches on. You'd think the narcissist would, but they've already had that brain damage. So it's not the 2-year-old, their brain is still growing. The narcissist received the brain damage, and we're just not connecting. So without the empathy, they can't see what we're telling them. It doesn't matter to them. Just like, go talk to a 9-month-old right now. They're just not going to get it. You talk to a 2-year-old, they're just not going to get it. They're not going to understand or relate to, before they do an action. Are they going to think about the consequences? A toddler could easily throw, I don't know, an heirloom vase, whether it was worth money or from your great great grandmother, and it's irreplaceable. They'll just get mad and throw it, and they're not going to comprehend, no matter how much you go, that's great great grandma's heirloom, and I'm really upset. The toddler's like, is just a vase. So that they don't see the value in what we're trying to tell them, the value in making the relationship better. And it's just, when they use the intelligent part, their intellect, they can see how to manipulate it. They can maybe appease us just to shut us up. It's not to connect with us. It's not to look inwards. It's more to shut us up. And they often don't uphold those because they were caught in that moment of, how do I shut this person up? So they'll give fake promises, whether it's to change now or to go to counseling, or we're like, can we move this forward? Are we ever going to get married? And they're like, yeah, we're going to get married. So you invest your life in them. Sometimes they will marry you, sometimes they don't. Statistically, what is it, 25% of engagements don't go to marriage, which is pretty high, you think. It's a lot of just poor communication, or people revealing their true selves, or not meeting eye to eye on things. And some of it is probably because a lot might be younger, is my guess. I don't know the age group on those studies, but the narcissist doesn't think things through ahead of time. So they'll promise things, so if I was holding on to, yes, they promise they'll marry you, so you forgo dating other people. I sold my stuff twice to be with my first ex, because we broke up, and you rebuild and then you get back together. And I sold everything, super super cheap too, is just to get rid of it. I sold everything because we didn't need 2 sets of silverware, we didn't need 2 vacuum cleaners. So you sacrifice, and then you get discarded. So I lost everything that way, and there was no remorse, there was no looking back, there was no, whether you should or shouldn't have, but there was no, I'll help you, at least here's $500 to get you back on your feet because you did that for me. Whether he had to or didn't have to do it, but they cost us so much in our lives. They cost us our soul. They cost us portions of our brain. Our brain is thinner now because of them. And it's all self-serving. They don't reflect back. They don't want to take accountability. Just like if you punish a 2-year-old, how much self-reflection do they do when they're in timeout? They'll just like pout and be angry and get it over with. They're not sitting there going, yeah, you're right, I should not have hit that kid. They'll be mad that they're being punished. So the narcissist, when we try to talk to them, they take it personally as a punishment. Like I said in a recent video, where we're saying there's something wrong with the relationship, but they take it as there's something wrong with them. And it's not even that we're being accusatory, where we could say, I relied on you to pick me up today. Next time, just let me know, I'll make other arrangements. And they're like, so I'm a piece of crap because I didn't pick you up? You couldn't have gotten a ride, when I didn't show up? You couldn't have taken, I don't know, responsibility or whatever word they would use. I'm not a narcissist. It's hard to remember the way they talk. And talking about that, things do get better. Things do get better. Your memories are going to start to fade a little bit. You're going to start to heal. It definitely takes time. I had somebody ask, how long does it take? It all depends on your personality, the severity of the trauma bond, how long your relationship was, and just keep moving forward. Being in a relationship where, if you want to go back to it, you want to go back to a relationship with a grown person with a childlike mind. It's never going to grow. It's not like the toddler whose brain is developing. The narcissist, their brain is damaged. So, it might get a little better if they put the effort in, but the feelings aren't going to be there. The connection is never going to be there. You're easily replaceable. I'd like to say if things aren't always going smoothly, but sometimes they rock the boat and they need that chaos. So you can't even say, I'll do my best, I'll do my best. Because that's not always what they want. They want you to stir things up. A lot of times they like the arguments. It gives, excitement to them. They don't want to just walk all over us. And you would think, if you're in a comfortable situation, that you would go with it and just enjoy it. But for some reason, they start resenting it. It's not what what feeds them. They like the thrill of the chase. They sometimes want you to adore them and give them all this attention. But they will get jealous if you get attention. And then they're going to start to resent you and punish you for it. There's times that you're jealous of somebody. But that, like, we should take that as, what can we do to achieve what we want? We're jealous of, I don't know, let's say maybe you're jealous of a singer. So you want to achieve that. So you work on your own voice, you work on your presence, maybe marketing, but you don't punish that singer. You don't punish, let's say it was your sister, you don't punish that person. But the narcissist, when they're jealous, they don't take it for self-growth. They see the entitlement of the attention should be on them. Maybe not the award or whatever, but the attention should be on them. And that's why it's really hard when two people are together. It's like a competition with them, because they were always told, and there's two different types of vulnerable and the grandiose ones. But they're always expecting to be the center of attention. So the vulnerable ones, they were either just the punching bag. So the focus went on them, which is a terrible thing, but the focus was on them as a punching bag. And sometimes if the kid acts out, they get yelled at, but that's some attention. The kid needed some attention. So that's what they'll do. The grandiose ones are craving that false sense that the parents gave them, or maybe it's a teacher where they were told they were the best of the best, or praised a little too much, to where, I don't know, they did a little scribble, and throughout their life they think that they're the best artist. And when they hit reality, it's like an eye opener that they don't want to see. And they just lash out. So no matter what relationship they're going to get into, it's always going to get sour. It's always going to be self-sabotaged. When we enable them, that's where you see relationships lasting. But if you notice, I'm hoping you guys can comment how many times you broke up with your ex narcissist. It's usually 7 times. Well, it takes 7 times before you actually leave the narcissist on average, because the push pull, they're so easy to discard us, or we're so frustrated. It's that toxic. And look at your other relationships. Did it take 7 times of breaking up off and on in a healthy relationship? Sometimes we go our separate ways, whether we didn't feel the connection, we tried, it just didn't work. Doesn't mean the person was narcissistic. We just had different hopes and dreams. You have to have 5 out of 9 traits to be a narcissist, and also have it affect your life somehow in a negative way. But sticking with a narcissist is having a relationship with a 2-year-old that's going to get stuck And if they ever make any progress, they're like a 3-year-old now. Therapy really doesn't help. It has not really been shown to be effective. It can be behavior modification, but it's not heart modification. Um, they'll never relate to you. That's they also don't care to. And that's the hardest part is we fell apart because we didn't relate when all we wanted to do was relate to them. And they blindsided us because they made it seem like, everything's great. And we had great times with them. But it was just moments in time to them. And that's what they want to live in, moments in time, moments in time. So anytime there's a bad time, just like if you go to a bad movie, you just leave, without looking back. Like, this just sucked. I'm just out of here. I don't want to invest any more time in it. And that's how the narcissist is. They don't see the value. They don't look deep inside, because if it was a bad movie, you could still see if it had really good lighting and appreciate the lighting techniques or the sound effects or I don't even know, animations. I'm at loss. Props, things like that, where you can have a different appreciation. If you really want to scrutinize and find some value in that movie, the story might have sucked, but all in perception. But the narcissist will just not look past anything. They'll just take a glimpse. No, nothing is worth it. That's where the splitting comes in. They'll see you as great, and then as soon as something goes wrong, they leave, and they don't wait to see what the next chapter is, the next portion of the movie. They give it what they think it should have, then they'll leave. And then if they decide that they're bored, they come back, and it's just a vicious cycle. So time to get out, go enjoy the sun, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.